morning, I woke up today in this morning. In the morning I woke up this morning, I woke up. And remember that every morning that I wake up, I woke up that day. Just remember that.
What?
Hey guys, Spider2B here, and today I want to break down the upcoming free S-Rank Ice Tank Omniframe Wanshi Lucid Dreamer. He's back to solidify his place in the meta ice team and to make me fall asleep reading his kit description. Uncle Chrome Glory can formally take his much needed break, thank you for your service, and in this video guide, I'll cover Wanshi's playstyle and rotation, rank upgrades, weapons, builds, his team setup, his cub, and my poll and build recommendations. And if you found this video helpful, drop a like, subscribe for more guys, and I'll try to answer any questions in the comments. And if you guys want to see these guides early or ask any questions, join us live here on twitch.tv/Spider2B. Please check pinned comments for any updates or corrections, because I do make mistakes sometimes, and timestamps will be provided as usual. So, Wanshi's kit and tutorial looks dank as hell, but in reality, he's fairly straightforward. There's just quite a bit of steps you gotta follow. So, to oversimplify how he works, let's break down his kit into parts. We'll start with the standoff mode, which is 2 3-orb pings, and then holding and releasing the first orb, or that red orb on the right there. And in this mode, you can hold down basic attack, do his air spin attack, or you can spam tap the red orb to use his revolver pistol attack. And as you can see here, you can keep doing the air spin or revolver pistol attack until you see him reload by entering the blue circle. And afterwards, you can use your ultimate. That's the ult for the revolver pistol attack, and this is the ult for the air spin attack. And something to note with Wanshi is when doing the air spin attack by holding down basic attack, I like to spam red orbs during this animation to guarantee that he automatically grabs his gun and reloads. It's rare, but sometimes he can miss his reload if the blue circle is not in view. Just something that I ran into. Now that we know Wanshi's entire kit, let's combine it all into his core main rotation. So that's double S with any weapon. So we're going to start with a swap and attack, use a 3-orb ping, hold and release the red orb. Then we're going to hold down basic attack until he reloads inside the blue circle. Then we'll use the ultimate. So this is the airborne ultimate. Then enter standoff mode again with the matrix ping and 3-orb ping. Hold and release the red orb. Spam tap the red orb. Keep doing it to reload. And then once you hit the 12 stacks, use your ultimate. Then here you can swap off. Now with the introduction of Wanshi as the ice sub DPS, Chu can finally rest her legs a little bit as the solo ice DPS on field. So for this rotation, we'll utilize double S Chu Shukra with deadline timing on her signature weapon, but you don't need deadline timing for this to work, as we'll see in a bit. And as for Isla, she'll be the off-field QTE bot, so you don't really need any crazy investment on her, although having her 6-star weapon or the resonance is nice. Anyways, we're gonna start with Isla, swap into Chu, have any orb ping here, hold down dodge for her fast ultimate. Now, if you're not used to Chu's rotation, please check out our guide where I go over her rotation in depth. Here we'll do a full ult, so 3 ping, any ping, 3 ping, hold basic attack, and do her full ult. Now, if you don't have deadline timing, you swap here. Otherwise, if you have deadline timing, you do another full ult. And then swap to Wanshi. So do the same rotation as we mentioned earlier. So holding basic attack for the air spin attack, waiting in front of the reload, use an ultimate, matrix ping 3 ping, hold and release red orb, spam tap the red orb for the revolver pistol attack, use your ultimate with QTEs, and then swap back to Chu to repeat the rotation again. So pretty straightforward. And you may have noticed the number at the bottom of the screen there. So basically, Wanshi will cap out at 24 stacks for his first air spin rotation, but the revolver pistol attack will always cap out at 12. When you reach the second rotation, you should have enough for a full 30 stacks for his ultimate. And it'll be 30 stacks after every rotation from here on out. Air spin ultimate is the higher damaging ult, with the revolver pistol attack being the lower damage ult. Just like Han Ying before him, he has his own affix, this time glaciation. So to trigger it, instead of doing the 2 3-orb pings and then holding the first orb, you hold dodge instead, and that will trigger his glaciation effect, as you can see on the left there. Not really relevant right now, but will be relevant in the future. So for Wanshi's S5, when you enter standoff mode, it'll trigger all available QTEs. When you use his ultimate, it will also trigger all available QTEs. Classic S5 upgrade. As for his double S, when he enters the field, he gets guaranteed 3-orb blue ping and an extra single ping. He also gets extra ult energy when he enters his standoff mode. So when you enter the standoff mode here, you get extra ult energy, red orb revolver attack, and his air spin damage are doubled, and he has faster glaciation accumulation, which is not relevant currently, but will be in the future. Double S is needed for proper and consistent rotations as per normal double S's. His double S3 gives him more orbs after the air spin attack, and the standoff mode and reload attack damage is increased, but most importantly, it increases his ice resist shred from a total of 35% instead of the base 25%. It's not needed for him to function, but it's a nice supportive buff. For Wansha's triple S, he gets even more ice shred, so now it's a total of 45% instead of the 35%. He also gets increased ultimate damage after using the standoff mode, and at 30 revolver stacks, airborne ultimate does more damage. His team swap cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds, and he gets more glaciation damage, which is not relevant currently, but will be relevant later on. Overall, a strong upgrade and the eventual stopping point for most players. And then triple S3 is more standoff / reload and glaciation damage, so if you get there, nice, I guess. And for my rank recommendations, I would say that double S is minimum for proper function, double S3 for more ice shred, and triple S for even more ice shred, some ultimate damage, and the team cooldown buff. And I'll go over this later, but since he's a free unit and we get his shards from the BP voucher shop, eventually every player can get him to triple S. This is not locked to just whales. And I would actually prioritize his double S and his double S3 over his weapon, as we'll see next. We have Wansha equipped with his 5-star weapon here. So big question, is Wansha locked to a 6-star weapon? And the answer is no. So we're gonna do the same rotation here. Do the air spin attack. Use the airborne ultimate. As you can see, we still have the 24 stacks there. Then we'll do the revolver pistol attack. Still get the 12 stacks like the 6-star weapon. And we can swap off. You don't need his 6-star weapon. The reason you pick up the 6-star weapon is because it increases his damage. So it basically doubles the damage of the standoff and the air spin damage, which is significant. But outside of the damage, and I guess the Boys Hyperflow 6-star weapon resonance, it's not really anything different gameplay wise. He also doesn't need deadline timing resonance. Boys Hyperflow is basically the only thing you would need on him if you wanted to use resonance. And even then, he doesn't need resonance. In terms of priority, definitely Boys Hyperflow first, incandescence, and Matrix Lightning. You should get a 6-star weapon down the line since he is the ice sub DPS with significant damage. It's not needed for him to function if you can't afford it right now. There are much higher priority weapons, like for example Chu Shukra, who basically doesn't function outside of a second rotation without her 6-star weapon, so I would definitely prioritize that. And the other reason to get the 6-star weapon is to harmonize him for his build, which we will get to right now. As for builds, since Wansha will be the sub DPS for long fights like Warzone, you want to run his signature set 4-piece Liston for the kit specific damage multipliers, and then you'll want 4-piece Chen Juen if you have them harmonized. Otherwise, you just run the 2-piece Einstein if Isla doesn't already have it, and you want to resonate attack on the top row and ultimate signature move on the bottom row. Hypertune slots 4, 5, and 6 first, and then slots 1, 2, and 3 afterwards. For Pancake, Wansha shouldn't really be on field as Chu does all of the damage, so you want to go 4 Da Vinci and 2 Gloria here, and harmonize 4 Einstein, and adjust Isla to Guinevere as we'll see later. You don't need to resonate here, but you can resonate class skill if you have the extra resources. For Infinitas Awaken or Super Hypertune, blue or yellow orbs for the starter orb, the red orb is only for holding to enter standoff mode, and if you're in the super early game and don't have access to the event shop, 4-piece Ike and 2-piece Gloria work, but just clear chapter 2-3 ASAP. As for team setups, Wansha should be following up on anything that Chu can't kill in 2 to 3 ult rotations as the sub DPS for the ice team. He doesn't do more damage than Chu Shukra, so he shouldn't be the main DPS if you already have her. We'll have Chu on her signature 4-piece Ji Boan and 2 or 4-piece Chen Juen if you have her harmonized or not. For Isla, you want her on her 4-piece Da Vinci, 2-piece Einstein, and 2-piece Guinevere if she's harmonized, and Wansha is not on Einstein. Or you can run 4-piece Da Vinci and 2-piece or 4-piece Guinevere if Wansha is on Einstein. For Pancake, you want to run the Wansha QTE bot, since again he won't be on field. Chu Shukra will be on her exact same set. Isla will be on her 2-2-2 set, so that's 2-piece Samantha and 4-piece Guinevere. If you have her harmonized, then I guess you could put in 2-piece Lantern, but if you're a newer player, you might not have 2-piece Lantern since it's not being run anymore. Basically, as long as you get 4-piece Guinevere and 2-piece Samantha, that's good enough. So for budget teams, Wansha and Isla are free units from the Dorm Dispatch, so everyone will get them for free eventually, and you can use that to start up your ice team, and you can rotate between the two if you don't have Chu Shukra. But Isla will need to be invested to cover downtime since she will be on field now, so you will need her at double S, probably with her weapon, but you want her on her DPS set 4-piece Eileen and 2-piece Cotty. You can also run a double Wansha team with Isla Kaleido, or run Lucia Plume, or you can also run Bambi as well. And with the introduction of Wanshi, we now have a free-to-play Void team that's potentially Luna Oblivion's strongest team depending on how invested your units are. So since Wanshi and Isla are both free from the dorm shop, it's accessible for all players as long as they're eventually obtained. The builds and rotations are the same as the Ice Warzone, with Wanshi as a sub DPS, but instead of Chu, it's Luna doing her 1 to 3 ult rotation. You can see her video for the exact rotation. But again, in Pancake, Luna will be doing most of the work anyways. Another option if you don't have the fire team. So for Wanshi's pet, active skill basically just slows enemies. Nothing too crazy. What's more important is the passive skill, and it basically is a damage buff for Wanshi's full kit, about a 50% damage increase. And in terms of upgrades, you want to upgrade passive skill, then the ice damage, and then the attack. Overall, it's a nice damage buff, but nothing too crazy. Free to play or only monthly pass players, you can pick it up. You have spare tickets, but it's not really needed. And for those who have the pet tickets, you can go for it. But again, Wanshi is not even a main DPS. He's kind of a sub DPS, so I would still prioritize something like Chu's pet over Wanshi's pet. And even then, the weapon would still be a higher priority than the pet for Wanshi, since it doubles his damage compared to the about 50% increase of damage with his pet. So for my pull and build recommendations, like Isla Kaleido before him, he can be picked up for free for 50 shards in the Dorm Dispatch, so that's enough for 1 copy, or you could choose to pull him at 100% rate up if you like to expedite him to triple S by grabbing a copy first, but it's not necessary for non-spenders. His shards, after you get the 50 shards here, you can get additional shards from the Battle Pass voucher shop. You can grab them here, 20 discounted shards every patch. That means that any player can get him to triple S eventually, of course faster if you have the Battle Pass, or if you have extra Pancake skulls to get him to double S quicker. Overall, he's absolutely worth building once you get him. He's the premier ice sub DPS and tank for Chu. He won't be carrying the ice team compared to Chu, but at least Chu can rest her legs a little bit more, and Wanshi gains a lot of ice shred on top of decent damage and will also be essential for the glaciation team down the line. With Isla Kaleido also being free, you can get a free budget ice team until you can obtain Chu Shukra with either Lucia Plume, Bambi, or even the original Wanshi. He also works without a signature weapon, so what's not to like? Eventually, getting his signature 6-star weapon and pet will increase his damage a lot, but we're about to hit another S rank soon, so if you need to save. He still works at double S or double S3 with just 5-star weapon, so prioritize the double S and double S3 first. And again, he may seem complex, but it's just one long rotation and it doesn't really change when playing him. I'm counting my bullets, I'm loading my clips. J. Cole, professional PGR gamer, that's what he said, quoted, true. And that's all you really need to keep track of, is just the bullet stacks and order of the rotation. Just make sure that he gets enough beauty sleep, because otherwise, man's gonna be working overtime, and chat, he's tired. Let him rest once in a while. I also forgot to mention this in the Hanying video. In addition to the farming stage quality of life, where you get level 25 instantly, you also are no longer capped by 8 runs, I believe, in global. You can now do as many as you want. So here I'm gonna burn 900 serum, basically 30 runs equivalent. And I'm gonna just get it just like that. Another thing I forgot to mention is that Warzone will now become a weekly game mode. So instead of doing Warzone twice a week, you only need to do it once a week with the 3 stages. Swarm is now updated. So 1, we get free instant head pats. Let's go. Everyone gets some love. And then when we go into Dorm Expeditions, we have 1-click collect and 1-click dispatch. So now you don't have to collect every single one every single time. And one last thing to mention is that we will be getting Isla Summer Skin through the community event. Everyone should be getting this skin for free. Anyways, thanks for watching. Join me on Twitch to get questions answered live and see you guys early. Drop a like if you found this video helpful, a dislike if you didn't. Subscribe for more guides and future characters. Thank you to my YouTube members and Twitch subscribers. Take care and peace late. Will Wanshi marry me? Are you a 10 out of 10? I don't know. I think Wanshi is more concerned about getting some sleep. I'm gonna be real.